Welcome, everyone. We will start momentarily, so please mute your speakers. If you were part of the first webinar today, we apologize for any of the audio issues we may have had, and they are hopefully resolved in this webinar. So due to the volume of participants, we will only be able to address questions related to any technical issues. So go ahead and type them into the questions box if we are having them, and we will pause the webinar and try to fix them as quickly as possible. Any other questions you may have, you may also type into the questions box, and they will be answered in a frequently asked questions document, which will be created after January 22nd when all webinars have been completed. So good afternoon. I am Barry Wiesling, and I am the Early Childhood Education Advisor for the Pennsylvania Department of Education. And today, Chris Madden, the PD Registry Manager from the Pennsylvania Key, and I will be presenting you information on the new PD Registry as it pertains to administrators. We are very excited, and thank you for joining us. Most of you were on the last webinar and heard how we got to this point, or didn't hear how we got to this point because of the audio issues. But we are excited about this new opportunity for you and hope that you like this new system as much as we do. There's a lot to learn, so please remember that this is a very broad overview. We will be sending out tip sheets to walk you through each process before the go live date of February 1st. We also want to let you know that you may see some language on the screens that may change before our go live date. We are actively working to ensure the language reflects what our field is using in Pennsylvania. You will get a sneak peek of the new registry on January 29th to get familiar with the new system before all others have access on February 1st. The PA Key staff will be available by phone or email to help answer any questions you have on the 29th and the days following your first login. If you are like me, you will want to see how things work firsthand and will probably learn better with hands-on experience as you navigate through the new system. We encourage you to set aside some time on the 29th to go in and complete your profile and your organization profile, while also keeping a list of any questions you may have. You can send them to registry@pakeys.org. We have multiple staff members ready and available to help. Please don't be afraid to ask. These questions help us understand what information and tip sheets we need to create for you, because most likely you aren't the only one asking those questions. And we want to make sure that we have clear information going out to everyone on how the new registry can be used. So active user information will transfer over from the old system to the new one. You will see your registry ID on the login page. All current users will keep their same registry ID number. Keep in mind, users will use their emails to log in and register for events. This is a huge improvement to the registry, as users currently either don't know or remember their registry ID, or they use their PPID number as their registry ID number. So to begin using the registry, you will just take a few minutes to complete your profile. You can see where Complete My Profile is circled. You will see on this screen, we also included links for PQAS applications as an instructor or TA consultant coach. Tip sheets on those links are coming soon. You will also notice the membership card option to the right. All users can download a mobile app with a QR code, a scannable code, that instructors can scan into a mobile app to immediately verify attendance. This is purely optional, and we will have more information on this cool new feature in the coming weeks. So we're now going to just continue with completing a profile. So you're going to check Complete My Profile and then click Apply, Renew. So the employment history allows you to choose both current and previous employment. This is a new feature that allows us to track employment data for the workforce over time. For you as an administrator, you will need to connect to your current organization. Most of you have already listed your current employment in the registry and will automatically see your employment listed here. If you do not see your organization listed on the screen, you can click Add Position and follow the prompts. If you get to the Search tab and do not see your organization, please contact the PA key so we can register your organization. This process will have to be done so you can create your organization profile. Please note that you will have an individual profile, but you will also have access to the organization profile as well. Once you attach your employment, you will see your employment listed under your individual profile. This is just simply showing that you are employed at this organization. This is separate from your organization profile. Please note that the status will read as self-reported until the admin at your organization marks your employment as verified. If you are the administrator of your organization, you will have the ability to go in and mark other staff members as verified once they have completed their profile. You will also have the ability to give other admin permissions once you have created your organization profile. So there's going to be one person at your organization that's going to verify employment, and you're able to grant that access to others at your organization so that they are able to verify employment as well. So the final step is to submit your application. While you can skip many of the steps within the profile, like education and professional contributions, please note that staff and childcare facilities will have to complete the entire profile. You are only required to put in your demographics and employment information. Updates and tip sheets on completing your profile will continue to be posted on our website and our new Facebook page. Please follow us to access the most up-to-date information. So on January 29th, you will be able to create a new organization profile after you complete your own profile. If you do not see your organization listed under your employment, email us and let us know so we can get your organization added right away. It will be important that you log in on the 29th to get set up with your organization profile along with a Stripe account, so practitioners will be able to register for your scheduled events on February 1st. Later on in the webinar, we will review what a Stripe account is. Please note that you may already see that your organization profile has been created. If so, you will not need to complete an organization profile, but you may want to update information as it pertains to your organization. So let's take a look at the next steps. So on January 9th, you're going to log in and you're going to complete your individual profile. And then after you have done this, you will complete your organization's profile, which will house all of your organization's courses and scheduled events. The lead admin person from your organization will create this profile so all other staff at your organization can connect themselves. Only one person needs to create the org profile, so you will need to decide who that admin person will be. Most likely, it's the person who handles professional development events in the current registry. This person can then grant permissions to others within your organization. After you have verified employment for your staff, you may also assign them as an admin person. As the administrator, though, you can always take permissions away from staff once they are no longer employed at your organization. All right, so you have already completed your profile and added your employment. Now it's time to add your organization. Click Add Organization Profile where the red arrow is. Remember, your organization may already have been created if you already have admin permissions. You would see this on the right-hand drop-down menu if it's already been created. you will see your individual profile and your org profile listed in the dropdown. So you'll go ahead and click New Profile if you do not see that you already have an organization profile listed. Again, if you already had permissions to your organization in the current system, you will not need to do this step. So the organization profile will go through a series of question and text fields. Please make sure that the main contact person is the one person that will be most actively using the PD registry. This is the contact person that we would email or send out important information to from the PD registry. The next page will ask what type of organization you are. You will complete the remaining fields and submit. Once you submit, the PA key will approve your organization as registered. Once your organization is approved, the admin from your organization can mark staff as verified by program, reviewed not verified, or denied. This is done by clicking the Employees tab under your organization profile. Once the administrator approves staff, they can then add other staff as admin to help manage that organization. So you may have multiple people from your organization with admin status to create courses and schedule events. Please remember that you must verify your staff before you can give them admin access to your organization. The same process will be used for child care directors to verify staff members at their facility, and they also have the ability to end date their employment, or the staff person can end date their own employment. This process will help certification staff see a list with verified employment at the facility. So under your organization profile, you may click Org Details. Next, you will click Manage Organization Profile Users. Please note that the staff person must have employment verified first before you can add them as an admin. You may add as many admin staff as you would like. The administrator for the organization can now add others as administrators by clicking the plus sign and adding additional administrative staff. All right, so how will users see my events? This is one of the biggest and best changes occurring in the new registry. We heard from the field that the course catalog and training calendar was confusing and not intuitive. The new training calendar is very simple and easy to navigate. You will not need tip sheets for this one. So here you can see what the new training calendar looks like. So we added quick links at the top of the menu bar for users to easily find required health and safety trainings, the new STARS 101 and 102 courses, conferences. So professional development organizations will be able to create a conference after July and advertise here for people to register for multiple sessions. And this is a big improvement from the previous registry, as it was very difficult to manage conferences within the registry, so we're very excited for this. You will also see a link for Act 48. This was another huge request from the field. Users wanted an easy way to find events that offered Act 48, and this will be your one-stop shop to click that link and find any professional development that is offering Act 48 hours. Users also have an easy way to search for instructors. For example, if a director is interested in finding an instructor to come to their center and instruct on dual language learners, they can use this search option. As an instructor, you can use this as a form of advertising your expertise. So also on this screen, you'll see that the search options are very robust. So you'll see you can search by keywords, by city, by county, by date range, by core knowledge area, by CDA content area, by level, and by training language. So you can choose one or multiple filters. Most are going to want to put a county or city to ensure that they're finding trainings in their area. Also note that users can search for face-to-face or online courses at the bottom of the screen. So as you can see, there are no more nodes to navigate, and you'll be able to search for training in any area that you like, and it's very simple and easy. So now I'm going to turn it over to Chris to explain how the online payments will work.
Hi, everyone. It's Chris Madden, PD Registry Manager for the PA Key. I'm excited that you're here today, and we're going to continue on with our webinar as we talk about online payments for my organization. So another great feature that will avoid confusion about payment is the online payment capability. Organizations can either choose to accept payment outside of the system, or they can use a Stripe account to take payment directly through the system. Stripe is similar to PayPal, but it does have some other features, and that is why our vendor chose to go with the Stripe option. If you are a regional key or a PDO contracted through a regional key, the PA Key will set up one main Stripe account through BCIU until July. The regional keys will be designated as training schedulers for all funded courses and will schedule all funded courses for PDOs that are offering those funded courses. BCIU will send the payments to you. So as a PDO, if you contract with a regional key with funded courses, they will schedule all funded courses up through July, and then we will take a look at how that process will work after July. So for all other organizations not contracted through a regional key, you may set up your own Stripe account for payment online, and that works much like PayPal, and you get paid directly. So people will register and pay online for your courses, and you will get paid directly. So there are fees associated with this service, and we will be sending out more information on this process, including how to register for Stripe. So just to reiterate, all funded courses will have online registration attached to the PA Key Stripe account, and you will get paid from BCIU. And this process will happen through July, and then we will take a look at how that process will change after. If you are a non-funded organization with courses, you may create your own Stripe account and get paid directly. So we will be sending out very specific information on this process probably by the end of next week. So the first thing you will need to do, and again, regional keys will not need to go through this process because you will be using the PA Key Stripe account. But if you are a PDO that sometimes offers the course as funded, but then also sometimes offers that same course as non-funded, you yourselves may set up your Stripe account for those non-funded courses. So you're going to go to stripe.com, and it'll ask you a series of questions. So this is the first step in setting up your online registration, is going to stripe.com. And again, we will be sending out very specific directions on this process. And it's very simple and easy. So once you go to stripe.com and register for an account with an email and password, that would be the main person at your organization would set up this payment process. You're going to come back into the new registry, and you're going to go into your organization profile after you've created your org profile and click on the settings tab. You'll see that highlighted in blue here. And then once you do that, you'll be able to go in and give you'll click on online registration, you click log into Stripe, and then your Stripe account gets automatically connected. So what that means is when you go to schedule an event, then you can click on online registration. It's already set up for you, and payment will go directly to you. And again, we're going to send out very specific information because it'll work a little bit differently for, say you are an instructor for a PDO, but sometimes you also instruct on the side privately. So if you are accepting payment once you get to the facility through a check, you would not need to create a new organization profile. But if you are an instructor that sometimes works for the organization that you are employed at during the day, but then sometimes you have a private instruction that you do frequently and want to take payment through the system, you would have to create an additional org account. So more details will be coming with that as well. So process for setting up online registration for courses that are already imported into the new training calendar. So you're going to see a list whenever you first log in and you're going to go into the training entry. You're going to see all events that you have scheduled within our current registry that you've scheduled up until today's date for possible future dates. You're going to see those listed because we allowed people to create future events for the new system. So you're going to see all of those listed in a drop in the bottom of the screen, and you're going to have to go into each one and accept online registration so that the participants can start registering for your event. So you may, for example, have an event where maybe 3 or 4 people have registered for this future event now in our current system. So you will still see that list of the attendees that have already registered, but you're going to hook up your online registration, and then now new people can register for the event through the new Stripe account. So the steps are really easy, and we showed you how to go to stripe.com, and then you go into your settings and you hook up the online registration for the first time. So then when you are, these are all for events that you've already created that are rolling over to the new registry. You're going to go into each event and you're going to go to online registration. You'll see highlighted in red there. It says pending. So you're going to have to go right directly above it where it says manage the event. You're going to click on that. You're going to get a drop-down menu, and you're going to click on Manage Online Registration. And I just want you to note on this page, this is a course that is moving over from our current registry. You can see where I highlighted on the left in red, there are already 3 people that have already registered for this event. So you will see people already registered. This is a screen in the Manage Event screen where you can cancel an event, reschedule an event, or manage your online registration. So I just wanted to highlight some of those features. So the online registration within a scheduled event has a 3-step process that's very easy. First, you're going to collect the information that you want to gather for your participants. Then you're going to enter your information that you want to send to participants in an email, because once they register, they get an automatic email from you, and that can change each time with each scheduled event. And then the third step is to activate the registration after adding the cost. So let's take a look. So the information collected, some of it is required, like their individual ID, their registry ID will automatically be populated when they register for an event, so they don't need to actually know that registry ID. Their first name, last name, email, and attendee type. And then you can also request their mailing address, phone number, mobile phone number, and organization. Some instructors may want to send out text messages to participants if an event is going to be canceled. So that's just another option. We heard from the field that it was a little bit difficult to find the email addresses of their participants. So this is just a nice, easy way for you to find exactly who's coming to your event and be able to email them any information that you want. You're going to add the registration fees. Now, again, for your scheduled events that have already been scheduled in the current system that are moving over, you will already see that fee associated there, but you can always edit. And you're going to, if you have any description that you want to note there, you can add that, add the price, the start and end date, will be added there for registration, and then update the fee. This is just after you schedule your event, you can put specific information in here that you want to send to the participants. Again, this is totally customizable. If you want to change it for each specific event or have them bring something specific to the event, any information that you want to share in this email, you can do so. And we also heard from the field that they really wanted to have the ability to copy themselves on these emails to make sure that the participants were actually receiving emails, because I know there was some issues in our current system about participants not receiving emails with cancellation notices and would show up to events. So this is just a nice way to copy yourself and make sure that you are also receiving the emails that go out to participants. And the last step is just entering the number of participants, adding the registration start and end date. You can hide the registration start date if it's for the future and you don't want it to be seen yet, and then accept the terms and conditions and activate. And then that event is ready for people to pay online through Stripe. It's a little bit different this time with funding. Stripe can be set up for each PDO that offers non-funded events, but if it is funded by a regional key, they will be the ones to set up the event, and then they can choose the funding event, the funding at the event level. So this is a way for us to be able to pull reports, or PDO's regional keys to pull reports on the funding stream. A really cool feature that we have now is when you schedule an event, at the very end, it will give you a registration page link. You can take that link and put it in your newsletter specific to regional keys or PDOs, if you kind of as an advertisement to the field. If you have specific newsletters that go out to people, you can add these links directly in those newsletters for this specific event, and when people read them, they can click on the link and go directly to that scheduled event to schedule to attend. So that's a nice, cool feature to kind of advertise your session, not only in the registry, but outside resources as well. So next we're going to go to creating a course. We are all super excited about this process at the PA Key because it's super easy. I think you're going to love it. The steps are very intuitive, and there's no more course numbers, no more scheduled event numbers, no more duplication of courses for funded and non-funded. So you will no longer have to put in a course twice, one for funded, one for non-funded, and that includes you no longer need to put in if it's a 2-hour course or a 3-hour course. I know we have some instructors that have 6 different versions of the same course with varying hours. You will no longer need to do that. You put in one course to approve, and you can change the details at the scheduled event level. So no more fields that don't make sense. So if you're creating courses for your organization, you'll want to make sure that you're in the organization node to the right-hand side. You'll see the arrow, the red arrow on the right top of the screen. You'll see your individual profile name, but you'll also see, in this example, it says Pennsylvania Key. So you'll see your organization profile listed there. You're going to want to click on that and make sure you're in your organization to create courses. And then you're going to click Training Entry on the left drop-down menu. You can switch back from events and courses. You'll see on the left-hand side, you can search by your courses that you've already created, and you can also search for your events. But for this slide, we're going to go to New Course in the top right-hand side. Note that we're showing screens of a brand new course. For a new course, there are fields that are going to be required. You'll see the title, the level of training, whether it's C1, C2, or C3, the description, the objectives. The CKC is optional for renewing any courses. We know that some of you have hundreds of courses that will need to be renewed right away. So that is optional at this point because there is an overarching knowledge area, but it is still strongly encouraged that you use those CKC indicators. Major resources is also a required field because with our current system, we have over 10,000 courses in the registry, and we really want to be intuitive and take a really close look at the courses that we have in the registry and make sure that they are important and the resources are important to our field. So the rest of the fields will be drop-down menus. Renewing a course. So again, you're going to want to make sure that you're in your organization on the right-hand side and then select training entry. There's no more confusion about nodes and what node you're in. You will just strictly use your organization profile. Click training entry on the left-hand side. You will have to renew all of your courses that have currently been entered in our system that will be transferring over. You'll see a list within your organization and they will all show as expired. You're going to want to go in and make sure that you renew only courses that you're planning on using in the future. You won't have to renew any conferences in the past, only courses that you feel that you are going to instruct in the next few months. Those courses that are expired will always stay there. So if you change your mind at a later time and want to go back and offer that course again, you can always go back and renew. The courses never disappear. And for some reason, if you look at your list and you see you're not seeing one of your courses listed there, just give us a call because it might be listed under the PA key or somebody may have entered your course for you. So we have a way of behind the scenes making sure that the course goes back to you. So make sure to click the Courses tab and take a look at the bottom of the screen. You'll see all of your courses listed here that have expired. Again, only renew the courses that you know that you're going to use in the future. We really want to cut down on the 10,000 courses that we have listed in our current catalog and be very selective. So if you don't have a course that you see, again, send us an email. So here's an example for the Pennsylvania Key. Here are all of our expired courses. So if I am the organization manager, admin, I'm going to go in, take a look at which one of these I need to renew and be able to start scheduling events for. And just notice on the right-hand side, you'll see the events column, and that's just a nice way of showing how many times this event has been offered. I know some organizations have asked for this feature in the past, so it's a nice tool just to quickly look and say, this course has been offered 39 times since it's been published to the course catalog. So you're going to click on to renew the course by clicking on the title. When you get to this screen, you're going to see a pop-up that says, this is a new course being created. You're going to click OK. Some of our testers were a little nervous when they got to this part when it said new course because they thought they were actually creating a new course. You're just bringing it out of expiration. So it's going to say new course, but it's actually just revising the current one. So then you're going to revise, click revise and review at the top right where you say I have it circled. Also notice that you'll see authorized instructors. If you have authorized instructors from the portal side of things where it was a core support course and there's a list, you'll see authorized instructors there. But unfortunately, if you do have instructors that were given permissions within the registry under the Manage tab, that you have added on the registry side, you'll have to redo that again when renewing your course. That's something that did not get collected. There was not data in the current registry to feed over for that information. So the first thing you're going to have to do when you're renewing your course is enter a course end date. And we're just suggesting that you make it up to 3 years from the date of entry. So you can make it a year from now, 2 years from now, anything up to 3 years. You will see that the title comes over from the current registry. You will have to enter the level of training. That information could not be collected either. So you'll just, from the drop-down menu, choose C1, C2, or C3. The description and the objectives will also come over from the current system. You will have the ability to add the CKCs, again, for renewing purposes. We know that some of you have a lot. We encourage it, but if you can't, you can always come back to it later to add. They will be required for new course creations. So there's a new course field that's somewhat different from our current system. You're going to click on whether you've created this course yourself, whether it was created and owned by your organization, or if it was published for others. Sometimes we have instructors in our system that instruct for national organizations, or Devereaux, for example, has a Flip It course, and they offer a PDII, and when instructors can instruct on that, they can put those courses in our registry. So that's what that category would be for. We're still working on this section. These are what we call qualifications. When you are an Act 48 organization, you can check the box here that says this course qualifies for Act 48. The PA Key has a list of all Act 48 approved courses through Department of Ed, so we will double check this. If it is a conference, you can check off that, and we would be the ones to check off the core. But there's also other qualifications that we can add here and we're looking at. But if an organization accidentally checked Act 48, we would be able to check on our end to make sure, or uncheck that box, since they would not be able to act or click on the Act 48. But these, once they check those boxes, they show up on what we call as qualifications. So if somebody's looking for Act 48 courses, this would be a course that would show up. And also noted with the Act 48, we are working on a current report, so that if that event is offered and Act 48 is offered as well, the list of participants with a PPID number will show up in a report for us to generate directly to people that work in the different locations that do the uploads for Act 48 credits. So it takes the paperwork out. I know a lot of times now instructors are having to have a paper copy to get the numbers of PPID at events, and a lot of times the handwriting, they can't tell what the number is, or they use a registry number instead of a PPID number. So this is going to take the guesswork out. The next page, you're going to select the main category that this course is geared towards. If it does offer ages birth through 5, we recommend you just checking preschool, pre-K. There is another section within the course details where you can pick multiple age groups. And then below, you're just going to put the knowledge areas out. Like if it's a 6-hour course, 2 hours are in child development, 2 hours are in assessment, and 2 hours are in communication. You can add those hours. And then those hours actually carry down to the CDA content area hours. So you'll see on the next screen, in the previous screen, we put 3 hours in for health and safety. So you'll see here those hours carry down directly to the CDA content areas. So that's a nice new feature with the system as well. There's no more guesswork on what you have to add in the different areas. This, for example, is the first part of the course overview. If there is a prerequisite, of course, you would just add it here. If not, you don't need to. Each box has an area for you to upload documents, which is really a nice new feature as well. You'll see an asterisk next to areas that are required. Learning objective is one of them, but again, that information will carry over from courses in the current registry. The core knowledge competency area, this is going to be a lot easier than the current system as well. You can click on the competencies tab. It'll take you right to the CKCs. You can click on the CKCs that from the book that relate to this course and copy and paste directly into this box. There's no need to add, like in the current system, you're adding it under additional information and you're adding it in a drop-down menu. This is just one simple step. We added a new field, diversity and inclusion. We just want to hear how your course meets diversity and inclusion. Again, this is optional, but encouraged, especially with the new STAR standards. Outline of training content and training methods and timeline. This is optional as well, but if this is a course that you are sharing with other instructors, it might be a nice tool for you to upload how you're presenting your course so that other instructors instructing the same course can present it the same way that you do. But again, this field is optional. Training materials list. We are actually taking this section out, and we're going to have a rubric here to score a quick review of the new courses coming in and to see if they meet the learning objectives and the CKCs. That's something new because in the past system, we were not, once you are a PQuas instructor and you've been approved, we didn't look at the courses. The courses were only approved for text, grammar errors, font. So this section will be reviewed or used to just look over the course and make sure that it is acceptable. Major resources used to develop the training. Again, we just want to make sure that there has been some research and understanding of theories while developing your course, and it's not just based on information from Parent Magazine, for example. You are able to upload participant handouts. I just want to note that if you do use a section to upload handouts, anyone can download these handouts within the course catalog. This isn't just for people that register for an event. Basically, these handouts are available on the course catalog, even if people choose not to register. So you might want to just make sure, think about it. Do I want these handouts to be out there for somebody to download, even if they don't attend my session? Again, you're going to check the target audience. Is it directors that you're looking to attend, early intervention, home visitors, pre-K counts, teachers? So you'll select the target audience. This is where you can select multiple age groups. So if there's multiple age groups addressed in your course, this is where to do that. Course details, training of trainers. Was this a PDII that requires somebody to take a PDII first? You would click yes or no. And the next step is authorized trainers. Who are you giving permissions to instruct your course? So that's where you would enter that information. And then you will actually see a list of all the approved instructors that you're saying, yes, can instruct my course. This is a new feature, and we're going to give you very specific details about this, but there's also a question as whether or not you are agreeing to allow a training scheduler to schedule your events on their behalf. So for example, if you are a PDO that has a course that's sometimes funded through Regional Keys, but sometimes non-funded, and you schedule it, you would want to make sure that you click yes, because by clicking yes, all Regional Keys will be able to schedule your events, because we're asking Regional Keys to schedule all funded events so that payment could go through one Stripe account. So you're going to want to make sure to check yes, and just remember that all funded courses will be scheduled by a Regional Key, and then if it's a non-funded event of the same course, you can use your Stripe account for those specific courses. And we'll send out very specific details because I know it's a little confusing. And again, you're going to submit for approval, and then it comes to the PA key. The PA key will be the one approving all of the courses from now until July, when we revisit how this process will work. So once you submit, you'll see an overview of the course name, the description, hours, level of training, and all of the information listed here. So creating an event, let's talk about creating an event. So again, you can see where you can toggle between courses and events. You're going to make sure that you are in the events section and click on events. You may either choose an event that has already been created and edit it for future use, or you can choose a brand new event that has never been scheduled in the past. So before I was talking about how you'll see a listing of all of your courses in the course catalog. Some of them may have never had a scheduled event, and you want to create one for the first time. So you would click on the right box to choose from the catalog, and that would be able to take you to the course that you want to schedule an event. If you have a frequently recurring course that you schedule a lot of events for, you can duplicate an event and then just change, you might have to change the time and location of that event, so you can do so there. So we made it easier. So, or again, you can look up the course. If you want to look up the course title, you can look it up here and you'll be able to find it to schedule that event. So here's just showing a list. I went under general training. These are 3 general trainings, and I can click on the one that I want to schedule a future event for. It's going to show me a description and all the information. I just want to acknowledge that, yes, this is the event that I want to schedule an event for. I'm going to choose if it is a funded course or a funded event, I should say. I'm going to check off which regional key or Octel or PA key is funding this event. And again, if it is a funded course, only the regional keys would be scheduling the event on your behalf. And then you can select the trainer on the next line. You could add more than one trainer. And the confirmation tab, you don't have to check that box, but that's just verifying that, yes, I spoke to that trainer and she is willing to train this event, so I'm going to schedule it for her. I've confirmed that she or he can do that, and I check that box, but you don't have to. Select the training language. I can add assessment of learning. I don't have to, but if I want to add that information, I can. I can also enter the delivery methods. Is it web-based, a webinar, group? Is it a classroom? I can enter that information for that specific scheduled event. I can also add whether or not it's online or face-to-face. If it's online, you can add a web link for your own online platform. So if you're offering a course, but it's in Blackboard within your site, you can add the registry link here or the link to your website here so that people can register and then go to that link. You can click yes or no if it's self-paced. If yes, it'll give you a time frame of how long they can or how long they have to complete that event. You can add multiple session dates, and this is another great feature as well, because a lot of times instructors had to manipulate the system if there was multiple sessions, or they had to pick Monday and Wednesday recurring or Tuesday and Thursday with the same date and time. So this gives you the flexibility of adding different start and end dates and different times. They don't always have to be on the same day. And then click next. You're going to add your location. A nice new feature here is you can enter your location. A lot of times instructors will have to call us and say, I need to instruct this event at this specific location. I'm not finding it in the drop-down menu. And then the PA key has to add that location for them. In this new system, you don't have to do that. You add your location of where you are having the event, and it saves it for you. You will get a list of your most favorite locations, and you can save those so you can come back to those quickly. So you won't need to search a big, huge drop-down menu of locations in your area. And also there is a Google Maps. So when users sign up or participants sign up for your session, they will be able to click on Google Maps and know exactly where to go for your session. Again, you can make this public so that everybody sees it in the training calendar, but you can also make this private. We had a lot of questions from our last call asking how to handle private events. So if this was private, you would just select no, so it's not seen in the training calendar, and then you can actually send a link. So say you're an instructor doing a presentation training for a specific childcare center. You can send a direct link to that childcare center so that those folks can register for the training. It's not visible on the calendar, but they can go ahead and register for it. Or you can enter them on the back end like some of you do currently. If you make registration required, it's going to ask you if you're taking online registration, and that's where you would complete all the information, all of your contact information for anybody to contact you, and submit your event. You're all done. So again, I just talked about private events. You can do the private event by just selecting no. Online registration, they can still pay for the online or pay for the private event through the system if you send them a link, or you can do it behind the scenes and enter those people into a scheduled event after the fact. And here's what it looks like after you complete your scheduled event. You'll see the registration link at the bottom of the page highlighted in red. You'll just copy that and send it out to the director to send out to other staff members to register. Nobody else will see that link except them, and those would be the only people able to register. So again, I just wanted to go back to the main page, the scheduled event. When you click on a scheduled event, this is where you're going to see everything. So it's not going to be complicated now when you're pulling reports. You can go into the event details. You can see how many people registered for it. You can update the status of it. You can edit the event, manage the roster. Say somebody showed up and you need to add them to the roster. You can do that all on this page. You can manage your online registration as I showed earlier to hook up your online registration so people can pay you directly. This is where you can mark people or mark the event as complete when you're all done, or you can cancel the event. Other information that I want to show you of importance is the training attendance record. So you no longer need to pull a report for the attendance. You can simply go to training attendance record, print it off, and you can bring that to you for the scheduled event face-to-face session. I think the most exciting feature on this page, it's called TTET Event Summary. So that's a little confusing, the name, but it's basically the instructor evaluations for your course. So the way it works is as long as 4 people complete an evaluation for your event, a report will be populated on the results. So you can click on that, and as long as 4 people have completed it, you can see a summary of all of those features on what they have reported back to you on how they thought you did. So that's important because right now people aren't getting those evaluations. So this is huge for instructors. And what will happen after the event is complete, an email will be generated directly to those participants. They will click on the link of the email or within the email, and they'll be able to fill out the evaluation right away. We were a little nervous that people wouldn't fill it out because it's not tied to their PQAS hours like it is now, but we heard from our vendor, they have 7 other states that use this functionality, and they say that as long as the email gets generated right away after the event or within 24 hours, they have a high rate of completion for these evaluations. So that's great news to our field that they can actually now see their evaluations. Verifying attendance, it's real simple. You just go into the event. You can see who paid, who registered, who paid. You can mark off who attended, so that's pretty straightforward. You can print off a class roster right here and add attendees. We're still currently working on different reports for you. Yesterday, like I said, we finalized what the Act 48 report would look like. So we're just spending a lot of time being very deliberate about the reports, because we've heard from the field that some of the reports are really good in our current system and are useful, where others are not being utilized so much. So we're just taking that information to see what you really need and what we can build for you to make your organization successful. So I just wanted to let you know that we are still working on that process. Another really cool feature that's coming probably in March or April, it's going to be a little bit after our go live. We are going to have a mobile app. Some states have membership cards that have a QR code on the back of it for instructors and for attendees. So now both instructors and attendees will be able to download a mobile app. Instructors will be able to scan QR codes of attendees or mark them as completed within this app, or attendees can show up and get verified that they were there at that session right there while they're after the session has been completed. So this is what the app looks like for Oklahoma. This instructor has 4 different scheduled events you can see on the left-hand side with the dates. She chooses one, the ECRS 3 webinar. She had one person attend that webinar, and she can verify them right on the spot that yes, this person was here, they attended. Or you might have a session where somebody shows up or they're not on the roster, but they know that they signed up in the system and something happened. That instructor can go right into the event and add somebody and verify their attendance right there. And again, this is a great option for many. Some people like the technology aspect of being able to use this. Other instructors may like the old-fashioned way of going back to their computer and verifying through their computer. So it's totally optional, whichever way works for you. You might try it and love it. You might try it and decide it's not for you. So it is an optional feature. So again, just to review, January 29th, you all will have access to the registry to make sure that your employment is listed, your organization profile is listed. Most of you that have admin features, like I said before, in the current system will automatically see their org profile and won't need to do anything but maybe update it. If you do not see it, make sure you call us, contact us, email us right away so that we can work quickly to get that resolved for you. We have Jill Soto from New World Now will be here with us that whole week to just work through any issues. With any big, huge rollout like this, there's always going to be something that didn't work or a technology glitch. So we're all here to work through it and get those resolved quickly. So the sooner you get in, the sooner we can get those fixed before go live of February 1st. And in July and August, we are also going to have some other enhanced features, such as the professional development plan. It's going to be a lot simplified and easier, but more intuitive and make more sense for the director and staff member to work together on the professional development needs. Conference registration, that'll be new. You can enter one conference into the system with multiple sessions. People can pay for the entire session and choose all of their sessions within the registry. So no more uploads, and it will be a lot easier for you. The director credential application we will be building within here. So there will be no more paper copies of the director credential application. So that's another application to go within the system, and also Rising Stars tuition assistance application. From now until July, people will still have to log into the portal or go back to the portal from the registry homepage to access that application. But after July, that will be housed within the registry as well. So basically this new system will be one-stop shopping for everything. So again, just to reiterate, conferences, Rising Stars Tuition Assistance, and the Director Credential application will be coming soon. And just make sure that you are subscribing to the Early Ed News, like us on Facebook at the PD Registry, keep checking back on the PAKeys website, contact the registry team at registry@pakeys.org with any questions. We're here to help. We're here to answer any questions that you have. We know it's a huge transition, but we promise you it's going to be a lot easier, more intuitive, and it's going to make your workload better too. And I just want to again thank you for all of your support. This wouldn't have been able to happen without all of your feedback, your stakeholder feedback, and many of our meetings, many emails and calls with things that, business needs that you were really looking for. So we appreciate all of your support because we wouldn't have been able to do it without you. So thank you so much. And again, if you have any questions, reach out. It's going to be a trial period that first week, and there's going to be some things that, maybe need to be worked out, but that's what we're here for. So we need to hear from you to make it happen. So thank you, and I hope all of you have a great, wonderful weekend.